Matthew Thornton is one of three men from New Hampshire who signed the Declaration of Independence. The other two signers were Josiah Bartlett, you got that, and yes, William Whipple. We all know that John Hancock was the first patriot to sign the Declaration. His huge flourish there. You know who the second man to sign was? Well, that was Josiah Bartlett from New Hampshire. And so you could say he was the first of the regular signers. Do you know who the last person to sign the Declaration of Independence was? Well, that would be Matthew Thornton. See, he was not there on the 2nd of August, 1776, which is the actual date of the actual signature signing, although the document itself says July 4th. Matthew Thornton was the first president of the New Hampshire House of Representatives. He was elected to the Continental Congress. But he could not be in Philadelphia on August 2nd to sign the document. Still, he wanted his name on it. Here's a note, by the way. If the American patriots had not won the war, had the British triumphed, and the colonies remained colonies, every name on that declaration would no doubt have been hunted down and hanged. So this was an act of courage. And Matthew Thornton asked to add his name when he arrived, or could arrive, which was a full 3.5 months later, November in 1776. By the way, Josiah Bartlett and Matthew Thornton were both medical doctors, the odd man out being William Whipple, who was a Portsmouth merchant. And yeah, William Whipple's ships did transport slaves from Africa, so Whipple is the iffy man of the trio. Of the three signers, the most noted today would be, of course, Josiah Bartlett, because he was the name of the character of the President of the United States, portrayed by Martin Sheen on the drama West Wing. But the most celebrated New Hampshire man, or in New Hampshire, would be Matthew Thornton, for whom the health plan is named, and that section of the town of Merrimack called Thornton's Ferry. And this town, this is Thornton, New Hampshire. It was granted to Matthew Thornton and others by New Hampshire colonial governor Benning Wentworth in 1763. By the way, the and others who were granted in the town included Matthew's brothers, James and Andrew. So technically the town was named after the three guys. Back then they were all important and firmly on the side of the colonial government here, but of course later on Matthew had a change of heart and he became the patriot we know today.